It's 10 o'clock at night, your phone rings. You have 4 options. 1, answer it. B, decline it but leave a text saying you annotated that person called. 3, you totally ignore it. Or 4, call back the next day and say that you were sleeping. That is something that the 10th division, yes, the one that was known that everyone flagged each other and almost killed each other during the house event that we noted about a year ago, but that culture of accountability seems to radiate through that command as we're seeing a new policy that's shifting the culture that I think we've never seen before. Dissemination for official information. Now, it says the overuse and reliance on cell phone causes unforeseen stress on soldiers and families. Change is a constant around us, but not all change needs to be communicated via text, chat groups, or other messaging applications. The constant need to be tethered to one's phone for work-related information serves to keep soldiers and leaders on edge, unable to function without the fear of missing something. I will get back to that, but I have to say, how many of us are a part of like 5+ group chats that are related to the military, that we get messages at random hours of the night, 10 p.m., for things that could have waited very clearly the next day? This policy only addresses the symptoms of a broader challenge, training management. The better we become at training management using proper forms and forms for other information dissemination and exchange, the less we have to rely on leadership by text. This leads to less stress on our force as we stand to gain a higher level of predictability. We owe it to soldiers to provide good leadership and great training and predictability. Predictability helps to ensure uninterrupted personal time outside the standard duty day. I have to commend the leadership at this command. I very rarely get to talk positively about the military, but god damn is this fucking on the ball, on the tip of what everybody has said, and I think is a leading change in culture. It's what we've needed, and sadly someone had to put little pieces of words and black ink on a piece of paper for someone to say this is an issue. That a method to increase predictability in accordance with and aligned to Army doctrine and regulations, designed to prevent the stress of FOMO, or fear of missing out, and FOBLO, never heard of this one before, but it says feeling of missing out and feeling of being left out by our soldiers and leaders. Soldiers and leaders have consistently raised these concerns related to their work connection to their phone. Encourage leaders to engage in direct, timely, and effective communication. I can't tell you how many times I've seen it happen where it's like you checked your phone, you would have known about that. This is a device that is supposed to aid and help our lives, not be a jail cell. This is a security risk. Putting everything that you do as a unit, as a organization through Messenger, WhatsApp, or whatever else is a true OPSEC issue. But God forbid we're going to do the OPSEC thing to anyone that posts a photo of them doing unit training or something else. They did go on to further say that this policy is not a ban on cell phones. It is not designed to make life harder for leaders, not an approach to limit personal freedoms. It's just called being able to be off when you're off and being able to actually enjoy your time, realizing that these things are okay whether we wait or we don't wait. I was asked back in the 90s when people didn't have cell phones as prevalent as they do now, what did we do? We had locations where people would be at. We had other ways to get in touch with people. If they weren't at their room, they were probably out doing something that they were allowed to do, which is called enjoying their free time. They go on to further say official meetings, no personal cell phones are permitted to be carried or used during official work-related meetings or unit training on Fort Drum. Official work-related meetings may take place in offices, motor pools, training areas, at ranges, or during field exercises. Units will identify a location in or near the conference room, office, or other workspace where meetings are held to place cell phones for the duration of the meeting. Cell phones should be set to silent prior to the meeting time. Exceptions to this rule may be granted by the most senior ranking member of the meeting for emergency circumstances or other good cause on a case-by-case basis. This policy applies to meetings during the standard duty day. That standard duty day, for the purposes of this policy, is defined as 0630 to 1700 local time. Dang, it's almost like we're on to something. Ugh. There should be no work-related text, chats, or messages before 0500 or after 1800 local time unless a unit or person is still working due to mission requirements. Every effort should then be made to avoid texting or messaging others that may not still be on duty before 0500 or after 1800 local time. This rule does not apply to personal messaging or for emergency circumstances. For example, this rule does not prohibit leaders from putting out information related to personal items such as unit basketball tournament at 1500 tomorrow or 3 tickets left for the football game. This rule also does not prohibit messages related to life, health, or safety. And I'm not reading everything verbatim from this message that's gone out in regards to what this command is doing, but I do want to say that they stand by one thing that I have to agree with. Our goal in the 10th Mountain Division is to break the cycle. Now, if 10th Mountain Division is the first unit to do this and really change the game of this, I know a lot of people think, I want to be on TikTok, Instagram, whatever else. And they even say that on Twitter here, saying they understand, check Twitter, whatever, between stuff. But while you're actually doing these kinds of events, while you're actually at training, when you're in these meetings, make them concise, precise, and actually what they're supposed to be about. Stop wasting time. I think a lot of soldiers are mad because they're in the service thinking that their time is not being respected and it's being wasted. And they do link this to the ever lingering idea that mental health is part of this. And I think that's important as well, because if you are constantly checking what your friends are doing back home or whatever else, you're going to feel sad and depressed and feel like you're not actually enjoying your life when you're sitting around and you're just feeling anxious. When am I going to get the next text from Sergeant? When is Staff Sergeant going to come out? When is someone going to release a message? Well, they haven't said anything until 9 o'clock. Oh my God. Oh my God. We have enough stimulus out there that we need to somehow bring down the volume, bring down the amount of voices that are going, and relax. It looks like there's a lot of people that are trying to make sure this is not a true cell phone ban, which I don't think that would ever actually happen in practice, to be honest, unless there's a true wartime situation. But looking at this, it looks like the Sergeant Major from 10th Mountain Division has actually reaffirmed what Commander's intent is as well, and says this.
It is not a cell phone ban. You spoke, we heard it, CG heard you, and we're putting stuff into motion. So what this is about one, giving time back to the soldiers. There should be no reason that you are getting anything before 0500 and you're getting anything after 1800. It's your time, it's our time. It's time to spend with families, it's time to spend with ourselves for the ones that are single. It doesn't matter. And that includes your weekends, that includes your dances, that includes when you are on leave.
I have to, after all of this, say it's sad we've gotten to this point, A, but B, I'm glad we've gotten to this point because it is important. Not only from the OPSEC side of it, not only from the mental health side of it, but this is going to challenge, I think, leaders to truly engage and plan out time. And not everything is just ADHD, I have an idea, I need to let everybody know at 10 at night that something has to happen tomorrow or else I'm going to forget. We have to learn to prioritize and also as leaders be able to take that fragment of information, put it in a box and say, that is tomorrow's problem. That is not today's problem. And really, if you're at home as a leader, you should be focused on your family. Lead by example. Those people that have been out for a while, I know that it's hard to grasp this. The people that are in now definitely understand this, but the people coming in probably will need to understand this as well. And I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you guys have any other videos or topics or questions or whatever, hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.